guys about what's been going on. If you don't know me, you know who I am and what I do. While I do some things, I'm not quite sure how this mic is gonna work, because I think if I want it to do what it's supposed to, I'm gonna have to hold it here, but hopefully in sound editing I can raise the volume. Hello, I am editing this. The audio is quite bad. I'm learning. It's gonna be soft and it's gonna be really peaky, so I'm really sorry. Get your blinders ready because we're about to peaky blinders. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope you like it. I don't know why I'm talking. Bye. I have been told a couple times in the past couple weeks that I have a very relaxing voice, which I don't think is true, but that my voice is deep and has an odd cadence, apparently. Not odd, I don't know. People like my voice. I quite like my voice. And somebody recently said to me, a couple people recently said to me that I should do ASMR. And I love ASMR, so I thought I'd give it a try. My favorite kind is usually whispering, so I will probably jump back and forth between whispering and such. So yes, I am by no means and in no way an ASMR artist. I'm gonna link for you down below some of my favorites, so that if you actually don't know about ASMR and want to learn about it and listen to some people that I love, I'll give you those links. But if you just want some new channels to listen to, if you are an ASMR fan, ASMR, I don't know, then you'll have those as well. So yes, I am going to I don't know if it sounds good. I can't hear anything. I'm going to be painting my nails while I do this because they're gross. Unfortunately, I have to only use clear polish right now because I'm in some stuff that requires my nails to be clear. So I'm just gonna top off my coat with a top coat. I have been spending the semester repainting my nails every week, and usually a different color. I've been trying to play around with doing each nail a different color. Oh my god, wait, this is really fun. I'm having a really good time. I don't know if it sounds good at all, but I'm having a great time. And I'm gonna make sure that my thing is still recording. Wonderful. I have been playing around with painting each nail a different color, or having an accent nail and then swapping it on the other hand. But because of some shows that I've been in recently, I've had to have my nails clear. So that really sucks. And I have one more left this weekend, so this will be the last weekend with sad clear nails. And then I'll get to go back to my wonderful nails. I also would like to tell you a beautiful story about how about an hour ago, whilst doing my laundry, coming home and waiting for the dryer to be done, planning for this video, I found a spider in my hair. And while I was going to film this video with cute little curled pigtails and some nice makeup on, I had to immediately jump into the shower and bathe under scalding water like the Satanist I am, because I could feel the spider burrowing itself into me, even though it is now dead and far into the abysses of the sea. So yeah, that's great. I am currently going to school. If you don't know, if I haven't told you, if you're new here, I am a BFA acting major, so I'm hoping to get my Bachelor's of Fine Arts in acting. I'm also a double minor in film production and English, because I hate myself. I actually quite enjoy all of the classes that I do, all of the studies that I have like, it is not fun. I do not have a good time, and that is okay. Again, that's neither here nor there. Sorry, that's what that's what I keep saying. I've been saying that a lot this semester, and now it's become sort of like a running joke for my roommate and I, that like we just kind of, at the end of every sentence, will be like, it's neither here nor there. I should say, though, before I get too deep into this video, that I understand that a lot of people aren't gonna like this, especially a lot of people subscribe to me, especially like my parents and my family are gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? Are you okay? No, Mom, I'm not, come pick me up, but I'm doing fine. I really just like, I like making videos that nobody likes because they're more for me. I like talking about what's going on because hopefully in like 10 years I can look back at this video and be like, oh my god, what a goof, I don't know, what a cringy human. I know I'm gonna look back and say that, especially since even though I'm wearing makeup, I didn't blow dry my hair too much, so I kind of look like a goblin right now, but that's okay. Again, it's neither here nor there. Sorry. So it is currently now the start of midterms, or the end of midterms. It's like midway through midterms for me. I think it's kind of the end of midterms though for most people. And I have been in 4 shows. It's like halfway through the semester just now, and I am finishing my 4th project this weekend. I was very, very blessed to be cast in a main stage, like big theater production at my school called Woe Is Me, which was a collection of Greek and Shakespeare tragedies. Greek and Shakespeare tragedies. And they were all just monologues. It was a collection of monologues. I unfortunately wasn't able to perform in those. I was an understudy for six characters. And at that time I was also memorizing and working my Hamlet monologue for my Shakespeare class. So I was quite packed full in the brain. But yes, neither here nor there. I can't believe I keep saying that, I'm so sorry. But after that was cast in a staged reading that we performed last week. I performed it last Sunday, and it was it was a staged reading of 5 women wearing the same dress. If you know that show, I played Mindy. She's just like a boisterous lesbian that eats the whole time. So it was very easy for me. I'm kidding. I like men, but you know, it was a good time. I got to eat in my room the whole time. It was a Zoom production. It was a Zoom production. So that was interesting. And the really sad one this weekend, we were supposed to be performing a production over Zoom, or over a Zoom-like platform, of Vagina Monologues by Eve Ensler. And I was really proud of the work that I've done. I was really proud of the work that my whole cast has done on that show. And unfortunately, we were not able to get the rights. We found out the day before we were supposed to record it. So 2 days ago on Wednesday, we found out that we didn't actually get the rights for the show. So last night we had our final rehearsal together, and we did it for ourselves and recorded it for whatever, but nobody will really ever get to see it, which really sucks. And the final thing that I am finishing off this weekend is that I was cast in a short film for my school, my film school's workshop class. So it's with like all of my film friends. Even though I'm not in that class, I get to just be there and perform. And we have our last 2 days of filming this weekend. That'll be this Saturday and Sunday. But after that, I am done with shows, and I have to say, that is really awesome. I know that's really, as like a creative person and as an actor especially, it's really hard to say that like I don't want to be in a rehearsal right now. But I've just been going so much, I'm really excited to just focus on school and on work. I also have 3 jobs, so I work as a glasses that are actually bifocals. I had to get transition lenses because my eyeballs hurt so much from reading so much, and also just because they're getting old, and apparently I have the eyes of a 40-year-old woman, so that'll tell you something about me. But yeah, so I read a lot, and I tried to continue doing that as the school year started, and I have done a good job, I think, compared to past semesters of reading far more than I usually have. I feel really bad right now talking about it because for the past couple weeks I haven't been able to read too much. My brain has been stuffed full and I haven't been able to process much of anything, so reading hasn't exactly gone well. But I thought that I would show you guys the 3 books that I have finished since being here, which, saying oh god, saying that I've only read 3 books in, how long has it been, like 2-3 months now, feels really horrible and deplorable, but they're also one of them's especially big, and I'm a slow reader, and I also don't have to justify this, so I'm just gonna stop trying to justify it. So I'm just gonna stop talking and go grab the books now. I get why people do this now. This is really fun, and I don't know why, but it is. Okay. It also definitely probably sounds like shit, but I'm having a good time, so I don't really care. So, oopsie. Okay, so before I got back to school, I started reading A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. And this book, I love this book so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love this book. I've been wanting to read this for a while. My sister really enjoyed this back when she was reading the series, and she would constantly hype it up to me, and I ended up buying the first one because I wanted to read it, and I just never got to it because it's quite big. I know it doesn't look very big, but the words are really small. The words are super small, and it's written in a very hard to read way. I'll explain that in a minute, but it's just been an interesting. But what I was saying was that they made a TV show of this. They made a TV show of this with Matthew Good and Teresa Rebeck. Teresa Rebeck, oh my god, no, that's a playwright. Matthew Good and Teresa Palmer, which, if you know, like, The Imitation Game, Matthew Good was in, and if you know I Am Number 4, Teresa Palmer was in that. They both are phenomenal, and they had such wonderful chemistry, but they made a TV show, and the first season, is based off of this first book, and it's set in Oxford, which I love Oxford. I love Oxford so much. It's set primarily in Oxford, and then in, like, rural France, so it's really cool. It's really lovely settings, and then, like, upstate, beautiful New York. So I loved it. This is the first non-YA, like, new adult or just adult fantasy that I've read, and it's written by an academic from the first person perspective of an academic. So it is, her understanding of the English language is phenomenal. It's just very hard to read for my dumb brain, especially since I think the book I read before this was Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer. So I was like, brain not the computing, but I loved this. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, if not a 5. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 though. And I bought the second book and brought it with me here, so it's going to be one of those few books that I'm going to be set in the 1850s gold rush era, and I don't usually talk. I say that this is my favorite book. It is definitely in my top 3, but I never recommend it to people because I have a problem with Christian literature, and I also don't read Christian literature very often. And my parents might be mad at me for that. Here's the thing, though. I love Jesus. I should read it again. Here's the thing. I love God. I don't love people. I think there's a lot of things about the church that I don't really like. single damn page in this book. I loved it, especially what it means and learning what it means about a quarter of the way in. And on that, and so it goes by Billy Joel is like my favorite song. It's like my top third favorites. It's in my top three. I don't know. It's in my top couple favorite songs. So yeah, seeing it for the first time in this, I was like, I love it. So yeah, that's that. I'm pretty sure I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to star ratings very often, so I really liked this though, and I really wish that I had some friends that I could talk to it about and like have a discussion. And on that note, I think that Corona, COVID, living in a school that is still going on with COVID, there have been a lot of protocols that have worked so far, that have been going well, and I'm still here, and I still get to hopefully finish off the semester, well, I guess I have I don't know, I knocked on my head, but it is really hard because I don't really get to see my friends very often, especially compared to last year. Last year I hung out with my friends a lot, but in a way I think that that's been really good for me. I've always said that I'm an introverted extrovert, that I recharge by being alone, and I get a lot of creative juices and a lot of stability in my own sanity by being alone. But I feel good being around other people. I like getting to talk to other people. I particularly like when other people talk to me. I'm the mom friend, so I kind of like when people come to me. But I think this has been really good because I have been able to recharge a lot, and now that I'm having to do all of this on my own and study on my own, and not go to coffee shops with my friends, and not like get dinner every other night, you know what I mean? Like it's been really good for me. But with saying that I wish I had friends to talk to about Slaughterhouse 5, I miss my friends. I just thought I'd say that because my friends might see this. So hi, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I was gonna keep going, and I was gonna continue to like do some other stuff. But I feel like I've been talking forever, and my roommate probably wants to make a noise and can't. But I will leave you with this, and that is that I've been knitting. I really love knitting. My babysitter, when I was probably like 6 or 7, she taught me and my sister how to knit, and I have been knitting ever since, on and off, not very often though. It's just kind of been like an occasional habit that I take up and then put down after I'm done with whatever I work on. But I've been working on this scarf for a year now. I started it a year ago, actually. Yeah, a year ago in a couple weeks, because I started it for a show that happened at the end of October last year. So yeah, so I've been working on this for a year, and I obviously didn't work on it at all over quarantine or last semester, but I've been working on it a lot now because after I'm done with everything, I just kind of watch New Girl with my roommate and drink tea and knit because I'm a grandmother. But I thought I would show you this thing. Look how long this is, dog. It's so long. I'm hoping to make it even longer, maybe twice as long as it is right now, so I can have a really, really long scarf. Yeah, I don't quite know what prompted me to make this or why I made this video, or if I'll even post this, or if it'll sound good at all. But if you want me to continue to make these, I know I would kind of like to continue to make these. These are kind of fun. Just let me know. Maybe I can like knit for you guys and talk about something. Maybe I can like perform those 6, 7 monologues that I learned for that show and just knit and talk to you guys. Just talk to you guys about New Girl. Maybe I'll read some deep analyses of Slaughterhouse 5 while I knit and drink tea. I don't know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. If you made it all the way through, are you okay? I think you need to go to a therapist because I sure as hell do. Yeah. Please stay safe.